Friends, how are you doing? Man, what a day in the market. It is so easy to make money in this market. I know I've said that time and time again, but if you haven't figured out a game plan at this point, I hope you will catch on soon, because this market is allowing people to get in and out, buy the lows, sell the highs, and tomorrow more than likely will be another low in the market, because this is just how things are going. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest here. So let's dig into some situations that are going on in the market. Maybe we can all come up with a game plan, how we can continue to make money, what's coming, and we're going into some very interesting moments here in this market that have come out of nowhere. So here we go. First things first, Tesla released earnings today, and they were bad, of course. I don't know why people thought, I don't know how many people did think these were going to be good, but they weren't good. We knew, I was saying this, for the last few weeks, that these quarterlies were going to be bad because there was no reason they should have been good. We've been hearing negative news. The last ones weren't that great, and then everything that's been going on, callbacks, everything, we knew this was probably going to be the bad one. And even Tesla, Elon has talked about this. So it's not so much right now that people should be worrying about Tesla. It's worrying about, can the stock go lower, which I hope it does. I'm going to be totally selfish here and say I hope Tesla sells down more, because I think a lot of us want to buy Tesla because we want to be a part of what's going to happen with the next phase of Tesla, with the robots, with taxi, everything, all that kind of stuff that's going, even the battery situation that they're pushing right now. So it's really not so much right now that I'm short term, I'm not worried about with these quarterlies. It's long term that I know I want to be a part of, because long term, 5-10 years from now, we could be talking about 30, 40, 50 billion dollar quarterlies. Even though, who knows, this time next year when we see these robotics come out here. So that's more or less my mindset on Tesla right now. I'm not so much worried about this quarterly. It means really nothing to me. Like I said, I just hope that the stock sells off. I hope people become impatient. I hope people want to put their money elsewhere, and I hope the stock sells off. I think a lot of people agree with that. Even if you hold it, you probably want to buy more because you know what's coming down the road. This is positive. I'm talking positive because we all know what's coming down the road here. We know that there's much greener grass coming here with Tesla. So that's in a short sentence, bullet points on a wall, that's pretty much what's going on with Tesla right now. Let's talk about SoFi real fast. SoFi had a great day. Okay, now tomorrow SoFi could have a bad day, but a good day if you're buying back in. Now with SoFi, I traded it today, 100%. I traded it, but the situation that has broke loose here is that the student loans are coming back, and this administration is 100 super duper serious about the situation, and people are freaking out. So for SoFi, this is good because this will be revenue, and obviously this is the bread and butter of what SoFi started on, student loans. This was their big thing back in the day, and then COVID hit, and then it almost sunk the whole company. And then they've really changed since then. Their bread and butter has become more of an actual day-to-day. The skeleton of them, are their bank, loans, all that kind of stuff, credit cards, blah, blah, blah. With that, with the situation of the student loans coming back up, I'm going to be honest, I'm not trying to get political whatsoever, but just, watching the market day-to-day, economy, what's going on, I think this is going to be awful for the market. I think this, if anything, will trigger a recession, 100%. If they do not do something here, I completely think this is La La Land, what they think it's going to happen here, with everything still being very, very expensive, people still not having a lot of money, debt, credit card debt being at an all-time high, car loans all-time high, houses, everything. I don't know how people are going to pay for student loans. So with that, you will see, it will not happen at first, but it will happen later on, that where you will see foreclosures, you will see repos, you will see things like this more come up, bankruptcies, things like that this could lead to, because it's pretty cutthroat right now what they're saying pay up. That's essentially what's being said. So I imagine that hopefully this will be fought back. But why this could be good for certain banks, obviously, as selfish as that is to say, SoFi will they'll receive money from it, so it'll be good for them. But for the market, it could be bad because it could trigger something terrible happening in the future. And we're still not out of tariff talk. This is the situation. So, it's very interesting that this is going on. And obviously, this is going to trigger many different emotions, many different people with what they think. And obviously, I'm not, listen, you guys know I love capitalism. I love it. And I do think people should pay their debts. Absolutely, 100%. But forcefully telling people, hey, this is what you got to do now. I could see them somewhat saying like, hey, we're starting this program back up. We're giving you so much time, not just like, it's happening. You got 2 weeks. You better cough it up. So we're going to see how this really transpires here in the next 2-3 weeks. But this could lead to something really bad. There was even, economists coming out here around they were saying this back in November, December, because Trump was already talking about this back then, talking about starting this, and this was going to end. And Trump was like, he's always been for paying your loans. This isn't anything new. What these economists were saying, like, hey, this could be really bad, making people what extra money they don't have, making them pay back their student loans. This could be terrible. Anyway, why I'm saying all this could trigger the glass floor that we're on right now in the market just to collapse 100%. So that's why I think it's so important where you're at position wise with this market, with stocks right now, whether it's SoFi, Palantir, Tesla, Nvidia, wherever you're at right now. What Best Buy, I don't know. Whatever you're buying, okay? You need to be careful, okay? Because things could change any day. This is a very dangerous situation that is going on right now with the tariffs, with this going on. This could do something very bad here. And then we've got Jerome Powell and Trump fighting. So it's crucial out there. So all that to say, today, here's essentially where I was with SoFi. With this market, you're going to have to take the good days. You're going to have to take them, and the bad days, you're going to have to turn them into good days. So yesterday with SoFi selling down so much, just yesterday was just a bad day in the market. It was drama, blah, 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 nothing new there. I bought in with SoFi. I bought positions. Whether you were buying positions, you were buying puts, option trading, whatever you were doing, short trading, who knows. But today, what I thought was going to happen happened. And, because early, yesterday when the market ended, it ended pretty good. And it was a clear sign that, okay, something's going to happen here to Tuesday. And that's what we've had today. The market, stocks did good. Now, obviously the student loan situation helped with SoFi, and SoFi has been killing it on these loan deals. I mean, this is why it's so speculative. What am I trying to say there? That SoFi is going to clear this $1 billion quarterly, that they are going to hit it here and maybe $1 billion and point some change here with this quarterly that's coming up here in less than days away. So there is a huge argument to say that SoFi could run to some, middle teen range here. We could see $13, $14, $15 here sooner than we think. I don't think that's crazy to say. We've seen that time and time again with SoFi. It's definitely looking for some bigger numbers now. Now, the question is, as we keep building this staircase with SoFi, how high can it get up to earnings? I find it kind of hard to believe that SoFi is going to come out with bad earnings here. That seems kind of almost impossible at this point with what's been going on with these loan applications. It seems kind of impossible. So with this, like I said, we could see the biggest quarterly that we've ever seen with SoFi here just a moment away. SoFi could be in a situation where it's, it still has, people still have student loans with SoFi. So people, and SoFi did this thing like 3 weeks ago. It was like 3-4 weeks ago where they sent out mass emails to everyone. And a lot of people they sent to by accident, where they were telling people like, hey, your student loans are starting back up this time, like, because this has been known, and that you were going to have to pay. People, SoFi is going to receive money, interest money on top of those loans. So it's going to shoot up their balance sheet. So there is good news for you as an investor with SoFi here in the long run here, and short term time, what's coming up here. But listen, like I said about being very, very, very fragile about getting too deep into positions, I would be careful buying SoFi like this time next week or a Friday at like, if it's running to $13, $14, $15, you're going to have a lot of your profit probably ate up by the time we get to the quarterly. We're expecting, like I said, SoFi to come out with a very heavy quarterly here. The question is, how high can SoFi run off that quarterly? How high will the market allow it to run if there's no real bad news in the market? See, the thing right now is SoFi is not reacting to this bad news of student loan situation. It's actually going, oh, well, this is good for us. We like this. And we've got quarterlies coming up, and they should be really good. So SoFi is getting a lot of, and I've been yapping my mouth about this for 2 weeks now. I mean, I've been telling people. So SoFi has made this situation that it's been in here for the past weeks now, where you can buy the dip, sell the high, buy the dip, sell the high, and you compounding your position right now. So a lot of people going into earnings here, you've probably got a pretty nice bag of SoFi that you'll be walking into earnings with, and you could walk away, whatever you're holding, selling, whatever you're doing, you could have a decent chunk of money here. So listen, I'm excited about what's coming here next week with SoFi. I think it's going to be very, very telling of what the rest of the year is going to bring. In this time next week, we could see the biggest quarterly that SoFi has ever produced. And if SoFi if it hits $1 billion, flushes over $1 billion, it is going to be it's going to run. It's going to do great things in a very short-term pace here, as long as the market holds up. Okay. Now, if the whole market does go into if we go into a recession, something like that happen, everything will be hit no matter what. But no matter how good a stock company is doing, there will be a threshold of how far certain stocks will fall. But nothing will survive the downfall of what's coming if we do see a recession in our economy. Now, saying that, I know that gets very political, like I said, but I do suspect too that Trump will do everything he can to not allow that to happen, where he will literally somehow declare Jerome Powell fired himself and demand a rate cut, because that's what he's wanting right now. He's wanting rate cuts. He's been wanting rate cuts. He was talking about rate cuts in October and September, so it's nothing new here. But it is a situation of it is a dangerous market right now. It's very dangerous, but it's a very healthy market in the sense of allowing you, if you're able to pay attention to. Don't go too broad with what you're doing. Focus on certain stocks and find the range in those, the patterns, and you're able to trade in and out of those and start compounding some money, compounding some position in there. And SoFi is an excellent example of that right now. I mean, my God, if you bought in yesterday and you sold today, man, you made some money. Whether you made $5 or $500, $5,000, you had a good day, really good day. And friends, talking about Palantir, Palantir will be releasing these quarterlies that it has here, 2 weeks from now, essentially, and two and some change here. But with these quarterlies with Palantir, these could definitely be the ones, on May 5th, these could be the ones that are well over $1 billion. I suspect they will. I think that SoFi and Palantir will take the year for most dramatic movement in companies with quarterlies. I really do believe that. I think everything we've seen so far with SoFi, that people are going to be shocked that haven't been paying attention here. They're going to be entirely because believe it or not, there's still people speaking down about SoFi. There's still people doubting what Palantir can and can't do. I don't know why. I can't think for the life of me why people would still be doubting Palantir at this point. I mean, my God, they're in the White House. They're signing contracts. They're printing money essentially at this point, Palantir. So, and they just locked up that huge deal with NATO. I mean, my God, the company is, there's a reason why you're paying $90 a share right now. It's because of the expectation as what keeps coming here with this company. You're buying shares into the future, essentially. You're buying at $90 now because people are going, well, with this NATO deal, it's almost sealed the deal that, Q2 of this year will probably be amazing. Q1 that we haven't even seen yet, it probably will be $1 billion. And if not, Q2 will definitely be well over $1 billion at least. This is why we're seeing such a heavy climb in Palantir right now. But this isn't like a new episode. You've been watching this. Palantir's been repeating this pattern here for the past a year and a half, 2 years now, where we've just seen this growth since we've seen these first government contracts really start to chip in. We've just seen Palantir go from 7 to 10 to 15 to 20 for a moment season there. And then once we got to like 27, $30, I mean, we just started rolling, but we started rolling too because we were getting huge deals. I mean, just huge deals. And now we're in the situation of Palantir is just, man, I just don't, I find it hard. I can't bet against it right now. I just can't. It's not safe. It's not safe to bet against it. It's just not in the cards right now. So friends, listen, I want to wish everyone the best of luck. Like I said, what I said with Tesla, I really want you to hear what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to speak bad about Tesla. I think Tesla is going to be one of the biggest companies in the future. What they are getting ready to do with these humanoid robotics, the taxi situation they have coming up, the batteries that they're building, the cars, obviously, and whatever else we don't even know about that they have in the background. Tesla is going to be a huge force to deal with in the next decade, and it undoubtedly will make millionaires, billionaires within that time range too, with people that are willing to continue to buy the stock and hoard it away. You will be rewarded with it later in the future, more than likely, but I do think it will take some time. Even Kathy Woods has come out and said that she just gave an interview like a month or 2 months ago or something like that, where she said that she expects Tesla in the short term here to be around, I think she said like $2,800, something crazy. I was like, holy friggin' smokes. Why she's saying that is because of everything I just said. It's what is coming. I'll say this and I'll shut up. You have to understand, Elon has always done this thing where he has tapped into markets that haven't been tapped into. When Elon was making electric cars, people were going, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Who would buy an electric car? Well, apparently millions and billions of people, because look, that's what built Tesla here. Now, people are looking at this and they're going, well, who would buy a humanoid robot? Who would do such a thing? Well, and people go like, well, there's not even a market for that. And Elon goes, well, I'll make the market. It'll be fine. The self-driving taxi, you buy a Tesla, then the Tesla can, become a taxi. There's no market for that, essentially, in that broad of a view. Well, they're going to make a market for it. And it's going to be revenue that we've never seen before in a company. But you're going to have all these huge revenue streams coming into this one freaking company. One company will be making all this revenue. So that's why the expectation of what is coming here with Tesla is so great, okay? I'm excited. Friends, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.